Well, hello. This is Jurgita with Stitches and Coffee with Jurgita. And today is what, 17th of August, and I'm starting my second part of August video. And want to say hello and welcome to all of you guys, and hope you'll enjoy sticking around with me while I'm doing this vlogging of a different kind of projects that I'm gonna be stitching and hopefully putting all together, sewing, and maybe at the end I'll show you some of the stash acquisitions that I got. You have to keep me away from a Facebook resale groups because I found amazing things and from shops. And I'm also planning to go to Needlework Galleria and already making a list of things that I want, especially threads and probably lots of fabric, trying to kit up some of the projects because I have a lot of patterns. But it's never enough, right, guys? So again, hello and welcome, especially if you just bumped into here new. And what you see in front of you is what I'm gonna start first thing. I've worked on this the past 3 days before, and I promised myself to try to reach 10,000 this year, and so far I have only 4,000 done stitches in this. So I wanna work at least extra day right now, or I'll have to pick up also sometime before New Year too. So I'm gonna show you the whole thing that I have so far stitched on my Omanic frame. I got specifically for measuring chatelaine in here, and this is what I have. I have about not fully 13% done, and right now I've been concentrating on this part in here and working full stitches. There's going to be some petites in there in those area, and been using silk threads, everything that was needed and suggested by the pattern, because I got the kit from European Cross Stitch, and I've been stitching this area, and I guess that's where I'm gonna be sticking with, trying to fill in more. So we'll see how that goes, and wish me luck, because I don't have a lot of time for this, and I was hoping to do more the past 3 days, but I couldn't. If you watched the previous video, then you would know why. So okay, so let's start this, and then I'll come back to you to show some progress for this. So I worked for a couple of days, and hopefully you can see where I've worked, and you can see more of the building popping out with the darkened window area there, and you can see the shape of the windows of different shape, like a square and more like a cathedral looking, and some kind of like a chimney, not a chimney in here. So it's slowly popping out. I don't know why, but there's two different light colors in here, and I had a hard time separating the color shades, although they were hanging, and I double checked the threads that it came from different skeins, but one of the skeins, I guess it was reproduced because it had like a dot on DMC after the number, so maybe that what was the problem. But it's very similar, and somehow the light colors are not laying nicely on the fabric, although I was trying to do a little bit more not loose but tighter stitches, but I don't know why it was coming out like that. But I like how the green and the gray color of the bricks kind of looking like I don't know, like it's by the sea effect or what, but this is what it looks like right now. And I think I'm gonna stop this round, so I would need like about the same amount that I spent in the last 5 days total from previous video and this video to finish up the 10K that I wanted to do for this year. So I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I'm gonna try, that's for sure. So overall I'm very happy, and the way I was stitching, let's see, so it's like a closing curtains in here. So for example, I'm stitching here, and I was just leaving a tiny window between two casings here, and that way I was laying my hand on the fabric here versus touching and not even touching, rubbing on the bottom, just in case from a body. So it was just a stitching like that, and because the pillowcase on the back side is a little bit looser, I was just kind of gathering up and make it tighter in the back, and this way I can put anything in here and follow the pattern in there, and just working in the small area. So trying to keep all of dust and especially bodily oils away from stitching as much as possible. So that's where I am right now, and I'm gonna set this aside again. I don't know until when, but hopefully not for the rest of this month. So maybe in a couple of months you'll see this again. So let's see what I'm gonna grab next. Well, even though it's like 11 p.m. And I've decided to at least put in something since I haven't stitched at all anything today. So I want to put in tiny bit something into this Stitches Alphabet by Brooks Books. And as you can see, I'm getting closer to the finish. So I have just a few more letters left to do, and I'm doing once month. So the next letter will be letter V, is for variegated threads. So it's mainly four variegated threads I got luckily from different sets when they came out, all those new ones, and there's going to be some back stitching to do, which includes like a white thread. So I don't know how long it will take, because like I said, I want to just at least to start. So hopefully if I stitch a lot tomorrow, I might finish letter V. So that's gonna go in here, and as always I leave like three full stitches apart between each letter, up and down and then sides. So I'm gonna start this tonight, and I'll continue into tomorrow, so we'll see how it looks. And it's done. So I don't know why it was taking me so long. Of course, yesterday I barely put in anything, and I didn't have a lot of stitch today, but I calculated and I got 475 in here. And variegated stitches, I try to kind of go down and then a little bit up until it gets like lighter, and the same in here. So I didn't want to go like a straight rows back and forth, so I was mixing up a little bit, and I think that turns out good. The veins for back stitching were also was using a variegated thread. You see some crayon in here in the buds, and the crayon was also used like leaves vein to mark. And one color I didn't have from a variegated, so I substituted, and let me show you. So instead of 4045 supposed to be evergreen forest, so for all of those leaves I picked this 4066, and I think it's nice and dark colors in there too, and I was watching where to cut it so it would not be very long bright color. I had several boxes of these color variations, different, as you can see it comes in, I think there's one more missing perhaps. So it's just a bunch of them, and I had from Blue Lagoon collection, and maybe I'll show you then. Here there was a Blue Lagoon. I used something I think for the like a rosebuds. I used, I believe, that color, and there was supposed to be something you see the mess pile, so that the purple one was for the V. And as you can see, there's a lot of colors in here, and there are like starts from 48 and up to 100, I think 25. So used these variations, variegated threads, and I think it turned out great. So it's done, and now I'm gonna set this aside until the next month when I'm gonna do letter W. So this is done, and then I'll have to pick something else to work on, and I think that substitution went well enough for the leaves, don't you think? So even though it's getting 8 o'clock p.m., on Sunday evening, I've decided I'm gonna grab this Adam and Eve sampler. It's one of my oldest whips that's left right now, and it's, by the way, it's by Shakespeare's Peddler. And I'm stitching on a very small count, which is 40 count, but it's closer to 42 because it was hand dyed, and it's pretty big, but I'm working with one thread, so that's kind of interesting to work on. And let's see what I'm gonna start from. So this is where page 1 and 2 finish approximately, and I'm gonna continue working down until I need to move my frame. So if you look at the picture, let's see, look at the picture, you can see there's gonna be a little bit of Animal Planet in here with some border and stuff until we reach the words. And I've done a lot of the words already, at least from a half point, so you can see. So that should not be a lot, and then I'm gonna go to the right to this section. So that would be great because this is a half point, and I've started this piece, let's see, when it was it, 2019 mid-June. So it's time to crack it up on this. I think it's going to be one of my main pieces of a whip to work on, maybe possibly even every month next year. So we'll see how it goes. But just the regular DMC threads that I have it all on my regular thread sorter, and just gonna go slowly in there, and we'll see how it looks like after several days, I guess. Well, this is what I have right now, and I'm gonna stop at this point. I stitch what for like about 3 days, so I can happily say that pages 1 and 2 are fully done. Third is partial until I get to unroll it, and I've been working slowly on the 4th page. So page started maybe around like here, page line. So I've been trying to make sure each page I stitch, and it was kind of headache at the like intersection to count how many I've done for the games, so I had 20, for example, here stitches done, and out of a 2nd page it was like a 5, and then the 4th page like that total. So but I think I calculated enough correctively in the game, so it's I don't know, is there such a word, correctively, but I reached where I'm working only on a whole page in here. So that's how I'm gonna continue next time. Just go up to this point, and then I'm gonna have to unroll it. So there's gonna be 2 full pages like that on the bottom, past the words, because I don't think I stitched the bottom portion of the words, and then it's gonna be just the 2 partial pages. But I'm gonna set this aside. I spent quite a long time today recording my list of whips video. It's probably gonna be split in a couple parts, because even though I tried to just mention each, it took me still a long time to do it, and I was doing in the 2 languages again, so it was a very long time until I've done, and I can feel my sore throat right there from all the talking. And I probably talk pretty fast compared to some of the videographers, because I want to cram so much in from my excitement, I guess, in all a short time of the video, that I don't drag it out. So the next thing that I want to work on, and hopefully finish at least the main part, and it would be scissor spool. Like you see in here, I got it at one of the Galleria years from Julie Designer, and I had it a little bit differently done, and I couldn't figure out what was the problem. And when I took it to her, she explained to me what I did incorrectly. I undone that part, and I now continue all correct. So now I have to figure out, I'm up to the point where I think I have to like a fold in here, and this side is gonna become a front side, because as you can see in the picture, this part is folded over, stitched, and finished at the edges again, probably with satin stitches, and then will be fabric cut off. So I want to work on that, because it's been a while since I've touched it. It's been quite a few years since I've started this project. So I think it's time to get working on that. I have a spool that's still unfinished. I still haven't figured out how I want to do it, if it's natural and just put polyurethane, or I have some kind of gentle color stain. So that's what I'm debating. So anyway, I'm gonna start on this, and it's getting kind of late today, but I want to put in even a couple of stitches in this before I need to go to bed. So let's see if we can figure out now the instructions and get something done. And as I thought the first night, it was just like 5 regular satin stitches done, and worked the rest of it today. So this piece is finally done, guys. I can't believe it took me so long, but I think it was just waiting for exact moment, and it was zooming. Of course, I had to figure out the folding lines, and you see this is the back side of this portion. And these were the ones that I made mistake before. It's supposed to have a holes in it so the ribbon can get through. This was interesting to stitch. You do short one and then long one and then kind of intercept, so that was fun. And of course, let me see how it would be. So that would be the correct side, and I fudged a little bit in here. I can't remember where. I think I was supposed to, if I can, I'll need to check, but I think I had to use regular DMC thread versus the, oh, which one, that not the iris, this thread. So DMC and this one are both the same number. So I was just using, when I was doing all around, just get to the heart, go down and make was that Algerian eyelet, and continue like that. But I think that part was supposed to be with the DMC thread, so I guess it's okay. And then of course this not the eyelets, but lazy daisies were done with a little bit like a back stitching that I went one way, and coming back I was making those lazy daisies, and that was with the 2 strands of DMC thread. So this piece is done. I'll have to figure out how to cut it, how to connect it all later on, because I think I'm gonna start stitching on this scissors fob. It's a small piece, but I have to stitch 2 sides of that, the front and back, and then cut out the very middle, and we'll have to attach also something to it if I wanted to, but want to start on this, and let's see. Hopefully it's not gonna take long. Maybe if I push myself today, I can start and finish this one today only. So wish me luck, and I guess you'll know within a second if I made it or not. Well, that didn't take long to finish those 2 pieces, and as you can see, there's plenty of fabric left from a kit to fit in. I did not even bother to look. I just made sure that it's halfway done, because I'll have to cut it out. And I even on one piece wrote my initials and the year 23, and this is waiting to be cut out. The only thing I don't know, maybe I lost my instructions how to put it all together, but there was this batting included and this thread, so I don't know if the batting is kind of the size of the just that piece, but I thought that this would be also supposed to be like that. There's a washer that's going to be inside, so I don't know if batting needs to be done in there. So I couldn't remember. I sent email to the designer's website, so I'm hoping I'll get the answer sometime. If not, I'll just bring it with me to Galleria to see if she could explain it to me how to put it all together. I'll have it all cut out, but this piece is done. So I thought, since I still have some time, I'm gonna do something that is practically also a finish. And let's go here. And I ordered these beads, treasures, that according to Witchelt could be replacement for the ones that I'm missing, and I guess it's out of production. So you see on this dress, this is dressmaker's daughter, by the way, and on this dress it's just a few places that's has empty spots. So I think original was supposed to be sort of like this margarita or some smaller size, but these crystals going well with the color in here, kind of blue, it's so pretty. So I think that should be okay, although the shape is different, but amidst all those big giant beads, I think it's going to be standing out okay. So if I do that, then my the whole piece is gonna be all finished, and I can count as a finished and look for the framing. So there's a 3 per package, and I have 2 packages, and I'm gonna try to put them on with my invisible thread. I have like several different spools. So this is Wonder, that was long long ago that I bought, and I still have left in the inside, enough inside the spool. It was thicker, so I'm gonna put this on, and I'll show you how it looks with those beads on. So here it is, it's 100% done, and these are the treasures that I put in. And actually I guess you can put them in different angles, like you could do like a sideways versus straight way. The way I did the straight is I went a tiny bit to the left to go and a tiny bit on the right, because it's 2 by 2 excess, and that's what it looks like. It's a little bit darker than those light big giant size 6 beads, but you see it's bringing all the colors in there. And besides that, I also decided, since it's finished, to put my initials, like I always try, in here, and just initials and the year, so I would know where it's done. So it's all done, and even though it's after 10 p.m., I think I gonna start something different from a whip that I was not planning this month, but I think I can put for one a day in that, and I'll tell you why. That whip is Lanarte's Secret Stitch Along of this year's number 1. They're about to start number 2, but I chose right now not to get a kit. So if you need a reminder or you've never done it, the kits the way usually come. So since it's secret, picture would be in here, but there was nothing. So what's inside that you could see through this little window, it just tells you that the name, that it's a secret stitch along, and the sizing and the fabric. So there's no instructions. Instructions are being sent via email. You have to sign up through website or Facebook group, and the only thing we got is fabric and the threads, and they're all numbered, so they don't tell you that's DMC this white or something like that. And you have to kind of follow online. But I was mentioning before that the one of the patterns as a PDF for Pattern Keeper had slight missing parts, like these parts. That's why it was not stitched, because it was not showing there. So I thought it's maybe will be for the next part. So what you see is part 1 and partial part 2. So I've stitched this last when it came out back in March of this year. So I want to put a little bit in, because the sale is done. I have all the parts sent to me already. Just need to put a little bit more stitching. So I'm gonna fill in the parts that were missing, the threads, and continue going. And I think I'll put in a little bit of tonight and tomorrow. So we'll see how it looks. And I'm greeting you on Saturday morning with this kind of weather. So I think we're all happy that we're getting some rain because it's cooling down. Yesterday, for example, it was reaching like 103 Fahrenheit, which felt like 115. So that's what about 45 Celsius would feel the heat outside, and we haven't had any coolness for like a week, and it was always so hot. So right now, this supposed to reach today like 80, and it would be feeling like 80. So that's amazing thing because we're very very hot usually, and the only thing is bad is because this weekend there's all kinds of places I wanted to go, and it's outdoors. Like there's an art show in a local town here, and there's international festival that they finally, after COVID first year again, started doing that in St. Louis, and it's all outdoors under under trees. So this is not what the weather you wanted to go to. So those people that have to have a tables there, I pity them. But we needed this cooling down weather. It's not gonna stay for very long, but at least today we can relax a bit from that extreme heat. So during this weather, I think I'm gonna do some stitching. So let's show you what I worked on yesterday. Well, technically, I had just a few stitches put in night before too, but majority of the work I was doing was yesterday. And again, that's a secret Sal. And I looked on computer, those parts that were missing. There was one little symbol that somehow just PDF wouldn't read it. It looked like a butterfly to fill in with those like a burgundish colors, and you can see it's kind of sporadically thrown in here. So I had to, since PDF does not read it, I had to calculate for my gaming to include that. So all done. So first part and the second part is all fully done, and I almost finished up putting it away, and then I noticed that there is a page below second part that has a tiny bit of this back stitching to outline the leaf. So I went in and quickly did that. Or rest of it, it was at least in this area, it was not showing any more back stitching. So two parts are fully done, and I actually started a tiny bit in the part 3. If you remember, this spot here was all empty, so I guess they left out those empty spots here for and in here I guess too, for next part, so kind of blend in instead of just having squared off areas. So I like that that they think about not showing the straight lines, like full coverage is for some people would show straight lines. So this way we kind of intermingle with the parts, and that looks good. So this is where I think I'm gonna leave it off. I was happy that at least I straightened out what it was before and looked. So I don't know when I'm gonna pick this up again. Maybe not this year. We'll see. But next time I'm gonna tackle part 3. I don't know if it spreads through the both areas or what, but this is where I'm stopping. And actually yesterday I went to our library to do some printing, and I'll show you peek of what I've been doing. I've decided to print out a full page size all the projects that I want to stitch, and it's gonna take me a longer time than just the small ones. So I wanted to do as a color big size, so I don't have to pull out to show you guys and myself what it should look like. So all of those are, majority of them are bigger projects that I want to start sometime, and a few of them of course I reprinted so you can see better. And you can see a little corner I printed my game 3 months to the finish line list that I put up. Picked out those 6 projects, well 8 actually, just in case I finish one of the 6s, but majority I was putting in these hard heavier thickness, I guess I should say, plastic, so it would stay protected, it wouldn't rip apart the papers, because there's gonna be a lot. You can see Teresa Wenzler, there's my Charlotte, there's another book, can't wait to see this one, and all kinds of ones you've seen some mentioning. There's Moulin Rouge. So there's lots and lots of projects that I'm planning to stitch, and I'm just slowly kind of collecting those big pages. So that's gonna take a long time to stitch, so that's why I printed this out for you and for me to see and compare and stuff like that. So hopefully that will be easier to follow. So that's what was one of the things that I was doing yesterday. Also, I'm gonna have like a group of videos where I'm showing you books, and I have some from library, some of mine books, and I'm gonna do like a paging through it to show what designs are in which books. So if you've been looking for a specific pattern and you know it's in some kind of stitchy book and you couldn't remember, you might stumble upon it. So I'm gonna be slowly doing those videos, and hope you're gonna pick something from those, and don't need to buy like every book that you see to search for a certain project. So series of different videos planning to come out. I'm right now editing and putting it up after that online. My whip parade up to sometime August. I wanted to do at the end of June, but just time flew by, and so you'll have things to watch. Hopefully I'll enjoy it, and I'll keep you company for a little bit longer like that. But let's go back to my regular stitching. I think I'll figure out what I want to grab next for next few days. And that's gonna be my harvester lady. I know the picture is a little bit pixelated, but the computer was deciding how to do it and print. So I've started that, as you can see, just a measly 23 half stitches in here. I started this this year's February 3rd, so just to kind of symbolically started, and it was at the very corner here. So I want to put in a little bit more so we can see. Of course, it's not going to be anything very interesting, so it's all about the sky in here, darkness, but that's okay because all the beauty is going to be below again. So I'm doing this on a 24 count Congress Stramin. Again, the pattern size is 300 by 425, and it's Lithuanian painter that did this. So something again to stitch that's purely Lithuanian. Total is 127,500 stitches gonna be, and like I said, it's in half stitches. So hopefully it's not gonna take humongous amount. I'm sure there's gonna be some singles around there, but not as gonna be detailed as like a folds or a face. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The pattern is by Astra because she's Lithuanian, and we need some more of those kind of scenes. So I'm gonna work on this for a few days to get some kind of area done. We'll see how it goes because it's a weekend, it's a family time, and I might have to stay up a bit longer when everybody goes to sleep kind of to add more stitches, but this is not how I want to leave this year with this project. So I'm starting right now. Decorating store. Getting ready for Halloween. That's as tall as our tree, the Christmas tree. And here we go. This is what it looks like after stitching for several days. So I think you can really tell a difference between 23 half stitches and over 5,000, right? So the way I did, I took like again 3 by 5 block approximately, and stitched that and parked and went a little bit to the right, and then I've decided that I don't want to see just something like this again, so I've decided to go down because I wanted to see something a little bit different. So as you can see here, this was the blob, and once I went down, it actually I've started to get some of the, I don't know what kind of grain it would be here, but you can see right here it's starting to show up in here, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe the picture was slightly cut off when the pattern was made, because it should be a little bit more, I would think, to the edge in the stitching. So if you can compare the distance, so I think the picture itself was a little bit trimmed for the stitch pattern, but that's okay. And it was not only just some kind of brownish darkish grayish blob, but I'm starting to see some of that, so that's kind of cool. And I guess I'm gonna continue a little bit like this, because I didn't want to, like I said, go just a blob. I want to see something different, and of course it has some of the more choices for the single stitches here, confetti, but this is what I have right now. And the next time when I go even to the right side, I should be able to already start reaching something else besides the plain sky. So that's where I get the harvester, and I think I made a good progress, right? From 23 stitches only. All right, so let's put this aside. And the next one, like always, I try to stitch towards the end of the month, is my biggest ever piece started, and that's my Girl Goes by Anayake, the free pattern. Let's see, 700 by 580, in case you don't remember that or stumbled first time in my channel. Let's see, so total is going to be 406,000 stitches, and I'm stitching on 25 count Lucas Goblin fabric, sort of like a canvasy, and you can tell that it's their fabric by those yellowish lines. And I'm stitching with DMC 2/1 because it's a lot of the blends in here. So as you can see, I've had the first row done, like a 50 stitches down I've done at first, and then since I've decided to just work within the frame, what I can see, you see the line here and this, and that's where I think the hair is gonna start. So slowly but surely I'm filling it all in, and new colors I'm sure it's going to be introduced until I'm gonna get in there. And this is the most what I'm waiting for, is this whole area, because her face should be much sharper than her ghost image, and all those details on her outfit should be interesting to see, and how those bright butterflies gonna pop out in the foreground, and her face, how it's gonna look. I'm very, very eager to see, but maybe we'll be able to see two together next year, possibly. Not sure how much I'll do, depends if I'm continuing putting a good amount each month. So few days left, and this is where I'm starting. This is the beginning of mine, and the end. So slowly but surely it's growing, and I probably might start the hair part and fill in, so it's not just background. Of course, I'm gonna continue filling in more background to see the top portion is filling up faster probably. And like I said, it has a lot of blends. She said ahead of time that she's not gonna clean up the pattern a lot, so there's gonna be a lot of probably singles somewhere, like a confetti possibly, and lots of blends. So I knew that before starting this pattern, but it's just too beautiful to not stitch. So let's start this. those 3 days I didn't do much. I barely made the 600 half stitches in here, so I hope you can see some of that. I've been filling in slowly, trying to finish off the loose threads in here that were parked, and a little bit you can see the darkness starting to come out where lady's hair is gonna be, and then using same thread kind of filling in wherever it needed to be, because there's gonna be more hair in this area to showing up. And this is where I'm gonna leave off, even though it's not much stitch, but at least some it was done. And because I have still have a guest, my husband's sister is here for several still days to celebrate the son's one of the son's birthdays. So we had some things going on, going out to eat and different places. So not much for stitching, but that's okay. We had to spend time face to face versus like talking on the phone or messenger. So that's one of the pluses of not stitching much. And today is September 1st, so I know in some parts of Europe that's the first day of school for kids. So I'm hoping that their school year is gonna start and continue in good health and without big events happening like we had several years ago. And for parents and teachers to have enough patience to teach kids proper things. And for the rest of you, I know it's fall is kicking in, and the sicknesses are starting to come in through the schools. Like my daughter stayed this past few days at home because like half her class got sick, some with COVID. So since she wasn't feeling well, we had to take her COVID test. So far it's negative, so at least that's good. It's just with the cold temperatures, it's not much fun. And we had on my son's birthday to show up was that super blue moon, and my phone camera took amazing picture up more up close of the moon. So I'll put a picture of it in here for you to see, of course, in case like you haven't looked it up more during that time. So that was kind of cool to check it out. So I think I'm gonna finish my video here. I hope you enjoyed watching my whips slowly grow, and today is gonna start as of September 1st. Like usually in the past several years I've been doing my game 3 months to the finish line, and I know several of you joined me in this adventure. And I already filmed it yesterday, a video of what I've picked for those 6 numbers of my on my dice, and I'm gonna have to put this up too for you to see. And if you join me, leave me a comment there under that video if that helps this kind of game. I'm hoping to finish off at least 4 or 5 of these little projects, and that's where I'm gonna put my next 3 months for. Of course, I'm gonna stitch on my monthly pieces like this one for those next few months too. So you'll see my ghost girl then too. So until then, I'm saying bye, and stay healthy, drink plenty of liquids, be tolerant to each other, and hope you have enough time for your hobbies. Bye bye.